Let's move on to the last and final team, the division here. It is the NFC East, and once again,
I appreciate you, AJ, but Jesus Christ, man. This guy, hey, is this your first show in a while? Oh, wait, it is.
And the Google Docs
you know what
says
it
you get a
is?
B+.
You know what it is? Let's be honest. AJ pretty much missed all of free agency. So he definitely is playing catch up. But I want to hear how my Cowboys get a B+. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Listen. Michael Gallup, great idea. James Washington, I like that signing a lot. He needed some time to really pull out and show what he could do. Dalton Schultz, point, don't let him go. That's a big one. I like Dante Fowler going back to Dan Quinn. I do not like him in the Falcons. He could never find his footing. He's shown flashes. He's shown he could be good, and he's shown he's had his best years with Dan Quinn. So I like that move. I know how big Jayon Curse was for you guys, and Malik Hooker coming over as a safety. That's a big one as well. I think that you guys had to get rid of some cap space, as you can tell with the Amari Cooper. And look, I mean, what you guys do as an offensive team, it's hard being an offensive team all the time, you know? And that's what they had to focus on. So they made some small things, but it's okay. You guys did some good work.
You did make good points.
At the end of it all, Aaron, I'll ask you this question. At the end of it all, who ends up having the better career? Who do you think ends up having the better career? Michael Gallup or Amari Cooper? Because the reason why I asked this question here is because they did go out and we talk about free agent signings and trades, but also a big part of the offseason is re-signing your own. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys did in re-signing Michael Gallup, and they gave him a big contract. So I guess I am playing AJ's devil's advocate here of B+ is because they went out and locked up one of their own in Michael Gallup. And if we are to say that Michael Gallup ends up being better than what Amari Cooper was, then you could say, okay, maybe we are wrong in having them at a D, and maybe we bump them up to a C at least because they were able to get and lock down a wide receiver that's going to be a wide receiver 1 in the future.
I do hate that they lost Cedric Wilson, though. I will say that. I thought that would have been somebody, if they could have kept, would have been a big deal as well.
So I think that I don't really think that's it, Vinny, because they're not paying Michael Gallup to be a wide receiver 1. Keeping Michael Gallup, if you look at Michael Gallup's contract, he's only getting paid, what, $14 million a year?
How many years is that, though?
5 years, 57, 23 fully guaranteed, has a max value of 62.
I guess the reason why I say that is because the years on it that they're okay, they're saying, okay, we're going to put we're going to try and develop this guy to be our 1 maybe in 5 years.
No. That's not what they were doing. First of all, he has a very similar contract to Christian Kirk. After 2 years, they can get out in 2023 with only a $6 million cap penalty. The second part is he's only making $14 million a year. Amari Cooper was scheduled to make 20 this year, 23 the following year, and then 26 the year after that. So it's more about the numbers of Amari Cooper not living up to being really the Devontae Adams style, the Tyreek Hill style that we were going to pay him to be. And then you get CeeDee Lamb, who's on a rookie deal. So that's not even the problem that I have. It's not just losing Amari Cooper that the Dallas Cowboys really kind of have irked me this offseason. It's you get rid of a guy like Amari Cooper to save the money. You cut a guy like Lyle Collins to save the money to go out and be able to add to your team. And then they fail to do that. Bringing in guys you mentioned like James Washington and Dante Fowler, all on 1-year deals, very, very cheap, minimally. They're not using any of that cap space for them. You lose guys like Randy Gregory, who you end up walking out the door. That was $70 million you planned on paying a guy that you didn't pay him because of whatever contract dispute. And then where'd you spend that money? You didn't. Dak restructured his deal. Zach Martin restructured his deal to help the team go out and make additions. And all you did is bring back Leighton Vander Esch on a cheap deal. Dorrance Armstrong, nice signing. And then Jaron Curse was a nice signing because he did perform well. But all on short deals where you're not paying him a lot of money. So what are you doing? That's like, why can't you afford a Tyrann Mathieu? Why can't you afford a Bobby Wagner? Why can't you go out and get a splash player in free agency after you've done all this to manipulate the cap? That's my issue with them. They signed guys, but they couldn't win last year with the guys they had. And now you're losing Amari Cooper and Lyle Collins. Connor Williams gone. Two holes on the offensive line. They did not have a good offseason, and there's a lot of questions. And I'm not the only Dallas Cowboys fan that has been saying that. The fans are very unhappy with what they've done, manipulating the cap and then not spending the money.
Yep, fair enough. The rest of this NFC East here, Beth, I see that you did say that we were never going to. You said stuff about Pluto, and you said, we will never agree on sports things. Exhibit A, the Manders, C minus, C minus, and guess what? AJ even gave the Manders a C minus. So across the board, there is some agreements with sports things, and then there's the Giants, who, in all fairness, I could have given them a C plus because they got what was that offensive lineman that they got? What's his name?
Mark Lewinsky.
Lewinsky, yeah, that guy. I guess that could bump it up to a C plus, but again, I didn't see much improvement from the New York Giants for me.
Well, they also got John Feliciano, which was big, another offensive lineman, and they got Tyrod Taylor, who's a really good backup.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be the starter by like week
3.
Yeah,
yeah, Tyrod's gonna be the starter eventually. But let's put a bow on this. Is there any other notes you guys have in your notebook for grades and all this good stuff that you guys wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I'll stay right there in the East. I have the Eagles, and I gave them a D plus like the Cowboys, and it's very similar. I like the Hassan Reddick signing. They bring back, Fletcher Cox. That was nice. But they didn't lose much on their team, but they didn't gain much either outside of the Hassan Reddick. I thought they could have done a little bit more. I don't know their salary cap constraints, but not really going out and trying to get another weapon on the outside for a guy that we're still trying to determine is our franchise quarterback. I thought that was kind of a misstep by Philly. I think they're kind of stuck on what they want to do. So I didn't really like what they did outside of the Hassan Reddick signing. And I thought that was good, but is that a game changer for them? I don't think so.
I also like the Kaiser White signing for them though too, and that's part of the reason I was giving them their B. They stayed true to what they are. If there's one thing about Philly, when they weren't getting good on offense, their defense was finding out how to make things happen from that front seven and making time for that back seven to stay correct. Kaiser White's going to come in and I think be a great piece next to a Hassan Reddick and behind a Fletcher Cox and a Derek Barnett. I hated the fact, I'm with you with the fact that the receiver they went out and got was Zach Pascal, who came up in okay times in Indy, but nothing. I think
you notice how I didn't even say his name.
Right. Philadelphia Eagles should be the one team that has like multiple, like a room of wide receiver scouting talents only. Like all you do for your entire life is look at wide receivers because they can't get it right ever. And it's something that really does need to be addressed if they want to be a force to be reckoned with, because the East is always up for grabs, and they haven't been able to take hold of it since they won the Super Bowl again because they don't have the weapons that they need.